Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. Great crowd. Thank you all for coming out today. I appreciate your interest in celebrating our exciting news regarding our baseball program. I first want to thank President McFadden for his support, confidence, and counsel during this transition. Thank you. I appreciate all your help. Throughout this process, I was looking for an experienced head coach who had a successful coaching pedigree. It was important to me to have a coach that was respected by his players and had a great reputation throughout the baseball community. Jan's reputation as a coach, mentor, father, and husband are outstanding. He will work tirelessly, expect the best every day from his staff and his players, and actively be a part of our community. He is knowledgeable and welcomes the challenges of the ever-changing landscape of college athletics. He understands the value of relationships. He has many contacts in Central Kentucky as well as the Commonwealth. In our discussions, we both emphasize the importance of getting baseball alumni re-engaged with our program. He is well aware of our successful history and is committed to getting us back to those winning ways. I could not be happier and more excited for EKU to have Jan, Alyssa, who's a good friend, JT, and Evan as part of our Colonel family. Please welcome the 9th head coach of EKU baseball, Jan Weisberg.
All right. I'll put it on one night. It'll make me feel more comfortable. You can do that. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. It is a special day for me, and as we move forward with this, hopefully you'll understand that I want to be active in this community. And first and foremost, I want to thank President McFadden and Kyle Moats for this tremendous opportunity, and most of all for their trust in me to guide the young men in the EKU program. Obviously, I've known about Eastern Kentucky University and specifically the baseball program for a long time, but also feel very connected to it. During my times at Kentucky and even after I left, Coach Ward was always a mentor from afar. Great baseball coach, an unbelievable man, a great Christian, and a true mentor. And about 10 years ago when I was at Birmingham Southern, his grandsons were playing at Covenant College, and he came down. I think he was wheelchair ridden at the time, but he seeked me out. I didn't even know his grandkids were playing, and I went up there, and it was one of the most joyous days that I had. Told the guys, they were on their own in BP in the cages that day with the assistant coaches, and I got to spend an hour with Coach, and just hearing him talk in greater detail about this place and not just about baseball was an awesome thing. My wife's father is an EKU graduate. One of his dear friends was a star basketball player here, Dale Moore. And I know there's two guys up in heaven that are probably having a cocktail and smiling right now and really happy. We never talked about it, but I really think that for Gene, this would have kind of been the dream job for me. My wife's uncle worked here for over 40 years. For 30 years, he ran the physical plant. Her aunt worked here for over 25 years, and at one point was the head of the housing department here. So do feel a deep connection to this. And I'm someone that appreciates history, and I'm someone that wherever I've been, I want to invest and I want to fully immerse. And feeling that connection already heading in is helpful. I've always known what pride that this region has had in this place, starting with those people, but just seeing as I'd be recruiting out in Corbin or Harlan or Manchester, that this is Eastern Kentucky's university, not just Eastern Kentucky University. It was awesome. Last night, was out with my family at dinner and met Weber over there, Hamilton, but it kind of reinforced that. And it's a community that I will live in. I won't commute, and I want to be immersed in it. Before I get into the vision and the mission of the program, I do want to recognize my family that's with me, obviously, in this special day. They've loved me enough to share me with all the great men that I've had the privilege to coach. sacrificed time that they could have had with me at home to let me be at the field and on the bus and in the hotels and in the office, just working with my guys. I love you guys, and I thank you. Like a lot of coaches' wives, I wouldn't be here without Alyssa. I wouldn't be the coach that I am today, and I wouldn't be the man that I am today. She's worn a lot of different hats. Obviously, Sharon understands this. She's been the caregiver of our kids when I'm away. She's loved and mentored my players. Oftentimes, they would go to her with a problem maybe they didn't feel comfortable coming to me with. At times, she's mentored our players on professional growth, particularly if they are interested in the marketing or licensing path as far as their future careers. Oftentimes, I would go on the road for a big series or regional or super regional. I'd unpack the suitcase and I'd start to put everything away, and about halfway down would be an envelope, just with some kind of an inspirational note in it. And I tell people all the time, a lot of the pregame speeches that I would give a lot of times were directly a result of what those notes were. As a coach, she held me accountable. She reminded me a lot of times that, these uphill aspirations that you have and these uphill goals that you have, they've got to be matched with uphill habits every day. And she's made me a better coach, and she's made me a better man. I love you. Thank you. My dad is here. It's one of the big reasons why this is such a special opportunity for me. I was down in Valdosta, Georgia, about 12 and a half hours away, and I saw him twice a year. And it was important to me to get back home. My wife grew up in Harrodsburg. See a lot of her family here today. The opportunity to get back close to home. And we're very much looking forward to making this home. But Dad is probably the original person that I think fueled my passion and love, not just for baseball, but for coaching. He was a physician, but was a highly successful high school basketball coach. And it's kind of funny because, early on in the coaching career, when you have to make a decision, do I want to do this for the rest of my life? Yes, I have the passion, but there's difficulties. You don't see your family. You're sacrificing weekends. You're not making a ton of money as you're rising through the ranks, and you're going, you see a physician, got everything got, and he's like, man, I would trade places with you. And it just helped inspire me to stay in this. And thank you, Dad. I love you. I am where I am today, and I wouldn't say where I am today as much as who I am today, by so many who have invested in me as a player and a coach. It started with Bill Hutton, my high school coach at Archbishop Mitty High School in California. I was a person that probably wasn't making the best decisions in life. I think I could easily say that I was lost. And he took a young man, and through baseball, I think he gave me a purpose and he gave me a passion. In junior college, I played for Barry Woodhead, who is a legendary coach and is probably the best baseball mind that I've ever been around. And he elevated this passion of the game by teaching the game to me and how to understand it and how to play it at a completely different level that I had never seen before. And then lastly, and certainly not least, is Coach Madison in the back there at the University of Kentucky, who took a chance on a catcher from California. Obviously, in the recruiting process, didn't have the chance to have a lot of interaction with me. But he allowed me to play the game at the highest level, which helped me grow. But more importantly, I think he showed that you can coach at a competitive level and do it with love, caring, and a genuine interest in growing people. As far as my coaching career, I had a year to finish school after I finished playing for Coach up in Lexington. And I think I was flipping burgers and cooking hot browns at Deshays while I was paying for school and going on banking interviews and just thinking, I'm going to go back to California, I'm going to get back into banking. And he just called me one day. And he said, man, I'd really like to have you come out next semester. And I was like, sure, that'll help bridge the gap. And I thought I would just do it for a semester. And he hooked me. The passion was there. It was instant that I knew this is what I want to do the rest of my life. And that he put up with a young coach and his faults, and he stuck with me. And it was a pleasure, Coach, to serve you until he retired in 2003. I love you. I do have a passion for, it's not just coaching and leading, but I really developed a passion for just organizational leadership. Like what makes certain organizations thrive, what makes some just survive, and what makes some fail. And I think ultimately as a leader, our job is to provide clarity and vision. And then it's to set up processes in place that make that vision and that mission a reality. But then the most important thing is to surround yourself with great people, whether it's players, support staff, assistant coaches, but surround yourself with great people. I would not be here today without some great assistant coaches. J.D. Holtz, who's been with me for the last 9 years, but then Drew Breezy, I don't know where he is here somewhere, was with me for my first 10 years as a head coach. And I say we, not I, started to form and build and create a sustained winning program and culture and development. And I couldn't have done it without him. And it wasn't just the support, but it was, I think, the comfortability for him, I guess, to speak to power, you would say. And as much success as we were having, sit down and help me identify, Coach, you can do this better. Not just keep it rolling, not just say yes, not just, hey, we're doing great, but really identify areas where I could be a better coach. And I would not be who I am without you today, and can't thank you enough for being here. All of these guys, I think, provide a reminder, because we all do it as coaches. The ultimate goal is to win championships. And I got a passion for winning. I think we have a great process for winning. That is goal number one. But all of these guys, as I look back, and again, not say where I am today, but who I am today, when I start to look at players or chase wins or look at players just for what can they do for me, that's when it's a reminder of all these guys that turned my life around, that impacted my life. It's more than that. It can't just be transactional. What can you do for me? You can have success in the short term, but your people won't go to bat for you. They won't fight for adversity for you unless they know it's relational. If it's purely transactional, if you can do something for me, great. If you don't, get out of here. That's just not it. And all those guys and what they did in my life just reminds me of that. And I thank them most of all for that. Here's what you'll get. You'll get a lot of passion from me. I'm not a loud and boisterous person. I'm a fairly easygoing guy. But when I commit to a mission and a vision, sometimes that's all I can see. I'm consumed with it. And there's a passion about getting there. And as we move forward, you'll get this passion to create sustained success as a program. And Kyle used a word there I love, tirelessly, right? Like we will work tirelessly to create a high expectation, high achievement culture that will not only lead to championships, but sustain success on and off the field in every area of our players' lives. But these successes will also be ones that can be celebrated and appreciated by the EKU alumni, by the student body, by the athletics department, and most of all, the university. Our main mission is to shine a light and add value to this place. We went through a thing a couple years ago at Birmingham Southern where the college had closed, and it was the darkest time for a lot of our players' lives. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in coaching was guide these young men through this pain and this uncertainty. And in this day and age where they could just thought about themselves and bailed and said, man, what's next for me? Yet they dove into each other. And guiding them through that and getting them to the World Series was probably the most satisfying thing that I did. The most rewarding thing as a coach was the last news about Birmingham Southern. We had dealt with negativity, sadness, pain, the last graduation, the last class, the doors shutting, and we're off playing in the World Series, and the national media and the local media, the last light shined on Birmingham Southern was a positive light. And no matter how small that might be, if it's our team achieving a 3.5 GPA, that's a small light that will shine on this campus. If it's us doing some community service, it's a small light will shine on this campus. If it's winning a championship, it's another small light that we're going to shine on this campus. And that is the clear mission and vision of this program. EKU is a beautiful place. I was telling Dr. McFadden, it was a beautiful place when I would come here 15, 20 years ago to play, as we went to compete against them. It is gorgeous now, and what they've done to make the improvements, it is absolutely beautiful. There's great tradition in this program, like Kyle mentioned. Our players will hear about this, and they will know this moving forward. It is one of the biggest things that is important to me. I had the privilege of coaching against Coach Ward, Coach Dominguez, and Coach Steen, and a lot of good players, great players at Eastern. I can tell you this, and Coach will tell you this, playing Eastern was never easy. We would even resort to tricks to try to beat them. Coach Ward really liked to steal bases. And back in 1992, it was my first year as a player at UK, our assistant coach, John Butler, is watering the field, and there is an absolute puddle at first base. And I'm going, what in the heck are we doing? He goes, Coach Ward ain't running today. So, I mean, it was a team that you knew you were in for a fight. Our players will know this. The tradition isn't just in the past. It's not something that these players that are seated here, these current players, it's not something that they can just have to look back to. 3 years ago in 2022, we tied for our co-champions of the ASUN. This is not something that's broken. It's not something that's been mired in mediocrity for years. This is a short-term glitch. And the return to 2022 and the return to a time when you do not want to play Eastern Kentucky on a Tuesday or Wednesday if you're a big boy, right, should not take very long. I'm confident in that. Our players will know this, and they'll hear it from day one, that in the present, in 2025 or 2026 or 2027, this is their team, but it is not their program. The program is all the men that have sweated on that field, and one not as nice as the one that we have, the ones that had no locker room, the ones that built that tradition. It is their program. And it's a simple mission, right? Everything we do has their name on it. When we go into the classroom, when we go into a restaurant on the road, when we go into the hotel, and certainly the way that we'll compete on the field. Everything that we do will have their name on it. And the simple mission is this. At the end of their 2, 3, 4 years, however long it is, at the end of my tenure here, and I hope it's a long one, is just leave it better than you found it. It's a very clear and simple mission. Under that, obviously, championships, leave it better than you found it. And it's just something that is very clear to me. I think you will see our players. You will see me. You will see our players in the community. I loved it last night. I don't know the name of the park, but right behind the campus over here, they had the Tuesdays in the park. You got little leaguers over there and softball. You will see our guys at that park. We will be working with those young men and those women in baseball and softball. We will engage them. You'll see our guys in the schools reading. You will see our guys in Eastern Kentucky with Coach Madison as he promotes and serves those communities with his ministry. Because we are Eastern Kentucky University. And all the ministry he's doing over there and helping those community, you will see our players in that community. You will see me in the community. I'll speak whenever and whenever. I love it. I will live here. I'll be in the restaurants here. I'll get to know people, and I'm very much looking forward to that part of it. The vision is to become a championship program, as I said, with sustained success, not one here, one there, while developing young men with character and life skills that are going to last them a lifetime. Those do not need to be mutually exclusive. Just because I care about a kid and want to develop a kid does not mean that I don't care about winning. That I don't mean that we are not going to get after it and develop them as an athlete. But like I said, everything we do has our name on it. When they go into a classroom, they've got a choice, right? Some professors might have a preconceived notion about athletes. Now is your chance to represent baseball. How is that professor at the end of that semester going to view a student athlete, but also a baseball player? And that's important to me. They are not mutually exclusive. Where we are now, and I know that there might be some questions after. Obviously, it's hit the ground running. In this day and age, it's different. First and foremost, it's trying to communicate with all of the current players and kind of see what this roster might look like. It is recruiting. We had a recruit on campus today. In the middle of hiring a coaching staff, which we're trying to expedite and have some very good leads, and I think we're going with that. And then just setting the master plan of what would the fall look like, scheduling and all the administrative things that go along with that. What you will see, and I can guarantee you this, I'm not going to guarantee a championship, but here's what you will see. You'll see a team that will compete at all times. You'll see a team that won't beat themselves. And you'll see a team that will have a poise and a presence that is uncommon. That is what I know you're going to get when you look at the EKU baseball teams moving forward. I've been a highly successful coach, yet I've never looked at it as me. It is we, right? I wake up, I go to the park with my guys, not my pawns to get a victory, and we're going to go to battle. I've been highly successful, yet I view myself as a teacher, a leader, and a mentor. I don't look at myself as a coach. Coach Madison will tell you that the wins don't matter. To see former players here from 15 and 20 years ago is the best feeling in the world to me. That's what these young men are getting. Someone who's committed to adding value to their lives. My faith, family, both blood and team, are what guides my purpose, guides my passion, guides my decisions and my actions. I look forward to great success and building great relationships here. And I thank everybody for being here. I hope to see you guys at the park. Go Big E. Thank you.